have the opportunity of living it to the fullest. Unfortunately, so few of us know how to manage it all. How do we account for our opportunities? How do we account for our time? How do we account for our relationships, health, spirituality, homes, finances, influence, and careers? How do we account for the one life we have to live? I am so glad you asked. In this program, you will find answers to all of these questions and more. Welcome to the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the I AFYL podcast. Today, we are talking about healing and healthy, how they are connected. Healing and healthy, how they are connected. It's probably on my mind just because I hit the gym. Like that's like almost the first thing, after, just, waking up and, having a conversation with God and then just going. Like I go to the gym every day, 6 days a week. And, I do that for the sake of healthy, for the sake of being healthy. I want my body to be healthy. But then there's the other side of that, healing. Like, what is healing? What is healing and how does healing occur? Healing is the process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. Healing is the process of healing, the process of making or becoming sound or healthy again. So healing is to become healthy, and healthy is basically, living in such a way that you stay in a state of, what's the word? You just stay in a state of, being healthy. I guess that's what you want to call it. So how does one invoke healing in their life if they're not healthy? Or how does one invoke healing when they are healthy? I know, right? But because these two things are connected, let's look at the two words. Look at the root of both words, the same, heal. Both words have a root called heal. And so what is heal, right? What is heal? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just hit Google up real quick to see what is heal. Or healing. I'm just going to put heal. Give me heal. It says a treatment. Now, heal is a treatment. So that means if you want to get healthy, if you want healing, then you have to get into treatment. So to heal is to go under a form of treatment. So here it is. We have these two words that are used in different ways. You have healing that's used almost like miraculous. Oh, she was healed. Like when you hear, I'm thinking about this. If you heard that somebody all of a sudden, they had this one sickness and then the sickness is over. Oh my goodness, they got healed. What a miracle. Okay. Yeah, because to heal is a treatment. That means somebody had to go on the treatment plan. Now, the treatment plan could be fast or it could be slow, could be gradual, could be whatever. However, the treatment plan is available. There is a treatment plan. Well, what about cancer, Jay? I'm not going to get into, there's, I believe, a lot of propaganda around a lot of things that we deal with. Unfortunately, there's propaganda. And when I say there's propaganda because me and my wife, we were just talking. I sent her a video last night. And, the video, I'm not sure if you know this, certain vegetables are engineered. Broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, lots of things are engineered. Rice, white rice, brown rice. These things are not really, they're engineered food. And then the person that was talking said, hey, you shouldn't even eat eggs. Like eggs are bad. And now he didn't get into like meat, like regular meat, but he talked about eggs. And so she says, man, you can't eat anything. I said, it's just interesting that like, if I wanted healing, like if I wanted to invoke healing in my body process, remember healing is a process. If I want to invoke a process in my body, what would I need to focus on in order to make that process get started? Here's the one thing I've discovered. You got to remove. The first thing that a person is required to do if they want healing is to start removing things that are already present. Because think about it. If if I want a certain life, if I want to be healthy, if I want to have a healthy life, if I want to have a healthy finances, if I want to have a healthy business, if I want to have a healthy marriage, if I want to have healthy, the first thing I got to do is remove something. They said, well, why don't you add something? No, you shouldn't add anything because the first thing we got to figure out was what was causing the problem, right? See, God is so good. Here's why God's so good. God will give you the answers to every question you ask when you ask. I'm saying it again. God is so good because God will give you the answer to every question you ask when you ask. And then I didn't hear what he says. Oh, seek and you'll find. Knock and the door will be open. So when you read the scripture, it's literal. You have to say, well, let me test that. Right? When I first started with the Bible at 40 something, yeah, I wasn't into the Bible when I was under 40, but I got into the Bible over 40. So when I got into the Bible, I started reading the Bible and I says, well, it's a lot in here. Like I said to myself, how can you remember everything? Because I remember, memorizing things and not being able to remember. Like, how can you remember? And one day I remember, I said, I'm just going to focus on just really looking at one scripture and just kind of learning what that scripture is. I'm going to tell you one of the first scriptures I learned and put focus on. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your path. That scripture, I just kept reading it over and over and over. I had heard it before. And well, what is that? Trust. What is trust? Trust is to rely. Trust is to depend. Like even before I heard you should look up words, I started looking up words. Like, what does this word mean? That's why we're talking about two words today. We're talking about healing and healthy and heal and how they're connected. And if I wanted healing in my life, then one of the first things I would like to do is to remove. I want healing, Jay. Lord, I want healing. He says, all right, start removing stuff out of your life. Oh, you want to lose weight? He's like, well, stop eating that. So remove the stuff. Well, what can I eat? Just stop. Just look at all the stuff you're eating, remove, and then only add the things that you know is going to help you. What? See, it's not complicated. When it comes to certain things, life is not complicated. Life is actually simple. I was sitting here in my desk Monday night, and I just did a video. Well, just before I did a video in one of our in our tax planning master group, I did a video in there. But before I did the video, I was sitting here like, man, life is so simple. Life is so simple. And why? I'm like, well, I didn't really say why, but because sometimes when you start asking why, you don't give yourself an opportunity to discover the answers. So I'm sitting here like, life is simple. And then it's like, okay, if life is simple, then there's something I need to know to make it simple. Everything, literally from healthy body, healthy finance, healthy life, all of the healthies, right? If life is simple, then there's something I need to know to make it simple. See, a lot of times we think we know everything. No, we may have heard it. Like, you could listen to my podcast for years and years. I could do the podcast for years and years. Look, I'll be honest. Like, and what if, like, you could not have a breakthrough? You could not have a breakthrough. Person, me included, could be at the same point that I was at 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Wow, I just had an anniversary. Had an anniversary of this podcast. It was last week. I let that get past me. I think that was on the 17th, June 17th of 2017 was the first time I did something like this. But anyway, I digress. And you could be doing something for many years and yet not get what it is you desire. So why is healing and healthy so similar yet so different, but they're connected? Because there's one word on the inside and it's heal. And when we look at heal is to do it again. Like, when you become healed, you go back into a state that you used to be in. Really? Yeah. Yeah. You had a healthy body at some point. I had a healthy body at some point. I had a perfect body at some point. I had perfect everything at some point until something came in. And then I kept putting those things in. It doesn't matter what this is. You can apply this into every part of your life. I can apply it to every part of my life. Once I kept putting things in that then start taking me away from what it is that I actually wanted, which was a healthy life. And now I'm looking for healing. Now I'm asking God to heal me when he says you have the power to heal yourself. You do? I'm telling you, man, if we were sitting at God's feet and he pulled the curtain back on us and then showed us the simple things, we probably just fall down and say, Lord, how did we miss that? I know I would. Like, because I'm getting revelations every day, and I'm starting to see not through my own eyes, but through the eyes that he wants me to see with now. He said, hey, look, he gives me these messages, and these messages. Guys, I'm be totally honest. Sometimes I could do these messages. I'm just like, Lord, but you just gave me that, and like I'm still working. He says, no problem. But I still gave it to you. I still allowed you to speak for me. Because one day when they look back and they see your life, they'll say, okay, wow, he was talking the same thing for many years. It's like Dr. Miles. Dr. Miles, he mentioned one time in one of his talks that he came in contact with a friend who hadn't seen him in a while, and he's like, man, Dr. Miles, you still saying the same thing. It's been many years. Same thing. But you may wake up today and say it a different way. Today, I'm talking about, account for your life, by removing things. That's the premise today. Healing and healthy, how they connected, they both have heal inside of them. And all heal is what we want. That's what we want. That's a process that we can get to by removing. So what can I remove today? I've actually started doing this already. Because for me, I find that I just go to where I can just kind of start fast, right? So I'm always working on my actual health. And it's kind of cool to work on your health because, it has nothing to do with anybody else, right? Your business, you can work on your business. You still need customers. So that's a different way of working. So I tend to like to work on things that, things that I can control. Anything that I can control, that's what I'll work on. And just like yesterday, I was talking to one of our mentees, and she was going through some stress. Like, and this is what Jim, I'm having a lot of stress at work, and I'm just trying to, oh my goodness. And I just gave her I gave her a tip on how to manage that. Like, think about this. You can only control the things that you can control. So imagine you were talking to me and I'm like going crazy and I'm doing all kinds of crazy things. You can't control what I'm doing. But you look at yourself, well, I can control me. I don't have to do it. So really, when it comes to really having a really good life, a really healthy life, and invoking healing on myself, is to focus more on me. This is what Jim Rohn taught. He taught that when you work more on yourself, you will become more valuable. So it's the working on ourselves that says that, okay, healing. I would like healing in my life. I would like to become more healthy. Okay. So what kind of treatment plan is going to give me this healing? So I was just talking about this a second ago and I got sidetracked. So I started to remove things from my life. I said, okay, I'm going to remove as many complex processed carbohydrates as possible. Like, I'm just going to not eat them. And this like last week I ate some. This week I'm like none, which haven't eaten any. Anything that's processed and carbs related. Now, here's the thing, fruit has carbs in it. This is a good carb, right? You still want to limit the amount of fruits well, you know what? If you ate fruits, that's all you ate, you would invoke healing in your life. So I ain't gonna say that. So fruits and good vegetables, end of the day, you eat the vegetable that you can eat. I'm not even going to get into the semantics of what's real and what's not. Like, sometimes you go in the supermarket and you can't even get. All they got is broccoli. Think about it. All they got is like broccoli everywhere. So it's like, well, dang, unless you're somewhere where there's, like all kinds of, I guess, whole foods, if you would say, that's organic, which a lot of supermarkets don't necessarily carry all that stuff, then it's like, okay, remove the things that you know. See, at the end of the, you got to invoke what you know. If you can say to yourself, if that's not going to help me in my healing process, let me not eat that right now. If this non-action, like, so I'm gonna use business. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, is that going to make my business healthy? No. See, because typically in business, you just have to do things. Meaning you just have to know what to do and just do them over and over and over and over. It gets boring. That's what they say, which they're right. And this is something that I'm still battling with as a longtime veteran here. So I've still got a way to go when it comes to the healthy business that I know that I should have. So that's kind of like one of the first steps. Remove the things that you know are not going to help you get to where you want to go. I'm going to say that for me. I'm going to remove the things that I know are not good for me. If they're going to hurt me or if I don't see the value in it, then I'm just going to let it go. So that's all you do. So if healing, now I'm not going to say that. Healing and healthy are connected because of the root word heal, and heal is to become healthy again. That's what heal is. So who here is going to become, they're going to make it their life's mission. So that's to be a life mission, guys. This cannot be, I'm going to lose my 30 pounds and then it has to be a life mission. See, because when it's a life mission, your results are guaranteed. Like, you won't ever have to start and stop. You will get to the point in your life where you're like, wow, it's been 10 years. Like, I'm 9 years in on my health journey. Just nine. And what I can tell you is, let's see who I am in the next 11. What about you? What's your healing? How are you going to get there? It's through removal. So, guys, that's what I got today. I hope you got value from this program today. And if you did, let somebody else know about the podcast. Say, hey, man, you may want to check out the Account for Life podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Healthy Accountant. And God bless you guys. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace.
Thanks for joining us, listening friends. We are so glad you invested this time with us. Always remember, you only have one life to live, so live it to the fullest. This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the healthy accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.